Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. It has been a crazy day. First off, I just quit my job. This was like my first day as a full-time YouTube creator. There were Star Wars spoilers all across the morning, and I just got excused from jury duty. That's a little bit of a bonus. This video is going to be all about the Episode 7 info dump this morning. There's new Stormtrooper designs, the supposed villains, and even the main villain with some plot details leaked. And my friend even got to do a really awesome podcast with Rian Johnson, who's going to be writing and directing Star Wars Episode 8. So Lucasfilm has said nothing official about any of the supposed stuff that was posting this morning, any of the pictures, the concept art, or the story details, and I don't expect them to. But I will say whenever I talk about each of them, which of the rumors I think are more plausible. But if you're finding me for the first time, I'm going to be doing weekly Rebels videos whenever that starts airing. Be sure to subscribe to get everything. That's actually going to be in October. So let's start with the confirmed stuff first. The new Stormtrooper designs. Just like the original trilogy, there are a few variations. There's the normal armor, and then there's the desert climate armor. Those are the only ones we've seen so far, but there could be more variations. It's just a sleeker, more modernized design. I know a lot of you were asking on Twitter why they needed to change the classic theme. Really, I just think it's J.J. Abrams visually conveying that a lot of time has passed, and certain things have evolved. Everything is really close to what you remember. It just looks like a few things have been updated as tech has evolved inside the Star Wars universe. Episode 7 is supposed to take place around 30 years after Return of the Jedi, just to put a little scale on it. A lot of you are also asking what the role of the Empire is in the new trilogy and what has changed since Return of the Jedi. Yes, shit went down and the Empire got its ass handed to it at the Battle of Endor, but the Empire didn't take all their resources there. There's still millions of Imperial soldiers all over the galaxy with their own fleets and resources. So whenever I get to the potential villain spoilery part, I'll talk about it more specifically, but basically the Empire is still around. It's just that a lot of the top brass has changed. It's like Walmart, just because a few executives go away doesn't mean the new ones don't step in to fill the vacuum. The bureaucracy of the Empire was all about advancement. There's always going to be someone younger and more evil ready to steal your job when you get thrown down an elevator shaft. Now, let's talk about the supposed villain, and I'll say spoiler warning just because even though it's a rumor, it could be potentially spoilery, and because you guys requested it, I'll add like a little spoiler bug somewhere here on the screen while the spoilers are going on. I'll wait just a sec before I start. Okay, everybody ready? Let's go. The big rumor is that a bunch of crew members from the movie were being laid off recently, and it led to some villain leaks, along with some other stuff. The details being that the Inquisitors are the big antagonists of the movie, and the main villain is the head Inquisitor. There's no info about his name or if he's tied to the Inquisitor from Star Wars Rebels, but supposedly that picture J.J. Abrams tweeted last week, the one with the droid hand, supposedly that belongs to the main villain. It's his hand, as in he's a mostly cybernetic Sith Inquisitor. This is supposedly an image of him. No idea if it's fan-made or real concept art, but it was sweeping the interwebs all morning with talk of spoilers. If it's true, picture him as being like a darker, grittier version of Darth Vader, like whenever Vader's headpiece came off and you saw all the machine parts covering his skull. J.J. Abrams totally changed the Klingon, so of course his version of a Darth Vader type character would look a little bit different too. The real question though is, are they going to humanize him like they did with Darth Vader in Empire and Return of the Jedi? Here's why I think the rumor is true, or at least partially true. Using the Inquisitors in the new film lines up with what Lucasfilm has said about Rebels being canon, and characters from the cartoon being featured in the films. So I know I just made a lot of Darth Vader references. Supposedly, he's also going to get a small cameo in a flashback. That's going to tie in with the Sith Inquisitors. Luke Skywalker is supposed to have a monologue in flashback explaining how Vader started using the Inquisitors to hunt down the Jedi, which is already happening in the cartoon this fall. The reason this Darth Vader rumor is a big deal is because everyone said that he was not going to be in the movie. He's not coming back to life, he's just going to get a small cameo. He's dead, they're not changing that, but they are changing the Sith rule of two, as in the Inquisitors will be retconned into the original trilogy. It's just a way for them to explain, hey, this group of bad guys has been working with Vader and the Emperor the whole time, and just because Vader and the Emperor died doesn't mean that the Inquisitors stopped what they were doing. We don't know everything about the story yet, but it sounds like maybe the Sith Inquisitors as a group generally seize control of the Empire after the death of the Emperor and Vader. Supposedly Leia is also supposed to get flashbacks to Alderaan, a young Leia flashback, that tie in with that story too. That's why Carrie Fisher's real-life daughter was cast in the movie, for that young Leia flashback cameo. All the flashback talk and the Inquisitor stuff are just rumors right now, but it all sounds very plausible. And like I've said before, I'm going to be doing weekly Star Wars Rebels videos as soon as they start airing episodes. That's supposed to be in October, so as long as you watch those, you'll learn all about the Inquisitors and their role inside the Empire. Stay tuned for an exact date. They haven't announced when it's going to start airing, but I will say in a future video whenever I find out. So the next big news is some Han Solo Hoth art that posted. It's old Han in Hoth gear. It implies that we'll see Hoth in the movie, but most of the talk is about how authentic the images were, and whether or not the insignia on his jacket was changed from the original Empire Strikes Back insignia. Supposedly there's not going to be any New Republic in the movie, so they're still part of the rebellion. For those that didn't read the Expanded Universe novels, the New Republic was just the government that rose from the ashes of the Empire like between 10 to 15 years following Return of the Jedi. They are ditching like a whole lot of Expanded Universe stuff, but that doesn't mean that we won't see Mara Jade or other big fan favorite things. There was some confirmation that the Rebels cartoon was going to use the Rex droid from the original Disneyland Star Tours ride. I kind of consider that to be Expanded Universe, so there is hope for them including some Expanded Universe things. So, on to really cool Rian Johnson stuff. For those that don't know, he was hired to write and direct Star Wars Episode 8. That's going to be in 2017, and it's like the Empire Strikes Back of the new trilogy. He just did a really cool podcast with my friend Emily at Grantland, and they mentioned some really awesome things from behind the scenes of Episode 7. I added direct links to said podcast, along with Twitter links to Emily in the description, so make sure you check those out. She is hands down one of the smartest people I know, and her podcast, Girls in Hoodies, is so much fun. She does a lot of cool science fiction and pop culture writing, so if you do check it out, be sure to leave them a nice comment and tell them Emergency Awesome sent you. So just to summarize, Rian Johnson said that he's spent a lot of time on set with J.J. Abrams on Episode 7, just seeing what they were doing with that movie. He said he got so excited when he saw how much of the movie is being shot on old school physical sets, like they're building big X-Wings, the Millennium Falcon, just like they did for the original trilogy. They're building most of their sets. It's going to give Episode 7 this amazing tactile feeling that I think a lot of us felt was missing from the prequels, just because most of those movies were shot digitally on green screen. And if you look at some of the pictures that J.J. Abrams has been posting from the movie, you can see a lot of creatures and real-life big sets in the background. It almost makes me feel like Jim Henson came back to life and started making cool new Star Wars puppets. I think of all the things that I'm hoping to see in the new movie, mostly are Han and Chewie doing old-school scoundrel comedy, a couple of twists on jokes from the original trilogy, and then there's this lesser rumor that Oscar Isaac wins the Millennium Falcon from Han in a card game, and he has to get it back. I'd really love to see Luke Skywalker doing something really, really crazy with the Force that we've never seen before, and Brienne of Tarth, Gwendolyn Christie, just being a badass Inquisitor. Supposedly she's going to be one of the Sith warriors. Like imagine Gwendolyn Christie if she were playing the Hound, or you could even dial it up and make her a freaking crazy version of the Mountain with a lightsaber. I could talk all day about stuff I'd love to see in the movie. I just hope that they don't get too nostalgic. I'm really hoping to see some new things that we've never seen before. I'm actually more excited to see Rian Johnson's Empire Strikes Back, his Episode 8. The second movie in a trilogy is always the best, or maybe most of the time it's the best. If you haven't watched any of his movies, watch Looper and Brick. Those are definitely two of my favorites. And be sure to check out my friend's podcast. Feel free to shower her with congratulations and praise, as long as it's nice. Her partner, Molly Lambert, is also totally amazing. I don't know her in real life, but I am also a big fan of hers. In case you missed it, I was running a Star Wars Funko Pop giveaway during Comic-Con. Congratulations to Shadow Artist. You get your choice of Star Wars Funko Pop. I'll message you on your channel for details. So my next Star Wars video is going to be for Rebels. They basically posted like a giant chunk of the first episode for you to watch online for free. So I'll be doing a review of that. Be sure to subscribe to get that video. In the meantime, you can click here to watch this week's core video. I'll be sure to add the annotation as soon as I post it. Some serious shit went down. And you can click here to get my last big breakdown of Star Wars Rebels. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow. High fives.